welcome back to the vlog. Man, it feels good to say that. I haven't uploaded in a week for a specific reason. It's because I've been so busy filming incredible content. Here's a sneak peek. I flew to Vegas, took trains between San Diego and LA, got into cars with strangers, played at Brad Owen's meetup game, was on Solve for Why with Matt Vaughn, Greg Goes All In, Ryan DePaulo, and Bet on Drew, met Doug, met Johnny Vibes. I've got some incredible content coming up. Even sat next to Ted Cruz on a plane. He was at the Poker Go studio, playing with Phil Hellmuth and Doyle Brunson. I hate and avoid politics at all costs, but I did my job, lobbied for online poker and Texas poker. But now I'm back at Humboldt Casino. Let's get into the action. The first hand I get is Ace-Queen offsuit in the cutoff, $300 in my stack. The undergun players met at 10. The hijack calls. I'm going to 3-bet to 30. The small blind makes the call, and then the big blind ships $200 in the pot. The small blind goes all in as well. I'm going to toss this one away, of course, and they flip up pocket aces and pocket kings. Let's sweat this one out. The flop comes out Queen 5 deuce. Thank goodness I didn't make it to the flop. I would have been in big trouble. The turn is the 9 of hearts, and the river's the 3 of spades. Top pack off to $300, in for $330, and I pick up ace 10 offsuit in middle position. There's a straddle on the button. I make it 20. The button calls. We're going to the flop 7-3 deuce. I've got some backdoor draws. The button bets 35. I make the call. It checks through. The turn is the 3 of hearts. The river, the king of spades. And he shows 7 deuce for the win. Flop 2 pair. Once again, I'm topping off to 300. In for 385 now. If you'd like to support the channel, please drop a thumbs up. That little gesture goes a long ways. And I pick up Queen 9 of diamonds and the hijack. There's a button straddle. I open it to 15. The big blind defends. The button calls. We're headed 3 ways to the flop. 46 in the pot, and it comes out 4-8 queen. I hit my top pair. I have a marginal kicker, but I'm going to continue betting. I make a small $20 bet, 1/3 pot size bet. The big blind makes the call. The button folds. The turn is the 4 of diamonds. I pick up a flush draw, but the board is paired, and the big blind could easily be holding one. I'm going to tread carefully like I'm patrolling through the Vietnam jungle in 1969. This time the big blind leads into me for 25. No need to get tricky with the re-raise. You want to be re-raising your best hands and your bluffs. Marginal hands make good calls, and my flush isn't the nut flush, and its value is also diminished by the pair on the board. I toss in my 5 red chips and cross my fingers for a diamond. The river comes the king of spades. I'm not going to go for another street of value, chopping or losing to basically anything that'll call except for a pair of 8s. It checks through. My opponent shows pocket 7s, finally scooping a pot up to 370. Lose it down a little bit to 349. The next hand I pick up is Jack 10 of hearts in the hijack. I open to 15 and everyone folds, scooping that pot, 352 at my stack. And I pick up Queen Jack of hearts in the low jack. The hand selection is getting a little better. Suited connectors are much, much better than non-suited connectors. You are always looking for the playability post-flop, and the more big hands your hand can make, the better the playability. I open the action once again to 15. The big blind is the only player that calls. 31 in the pot, heads up, and the flop comes out 10 king 7, open-ended for me. I continuation bet to 20, and the opponent folds, scooping another small pot, 368 on my stack. Pick up ace queen offsuit in middle position. I open the action to 15. The big blind makes the call. We're headed to the flop. Heads up again. 10-5-8 comes out. It checks through to the turn. It's the 8 of diamonds. This time the big blind bets 20. I'm going to make the call. My ace high could still be good. The river comes out the 5 of diamonds. It checks through, and my ace high is good. I always say if there's not an ace on the flop, there's going to be one on the river. There wasn't this time, but I didn't need it. The dealer tosses me 6-9 of hearts, or what I would imagine Quagmire would call giggities. The undergun player opens to 12. The cutoff call. So does the bun and middle position. I'm closing the action. It's only $9 more. I make the call. 61 in the pot. 5 players going to the flop. And it's 4-6 king. I have middle pair. But there's 4 other players in the pot. It checks through the turn. And it's the 10 of clubs. This time I'm going to throw out another small 1/3 pot size bet. Only one player wants to come. It's the middle position. 101 in the pot. We're going to the river. It's the 8 of hearts. I could check because I have a little bit of showdown value. But I'm trying to push them off hands. Like pocket 9s. Maybe a bad 10. I bet 55. And 55 is going to get through. 473 in my stack, moving in the right direction. And I pick up ace jack offsuit in the small blind. The low jack limps. I open, of course, to 16. I never limp anymore, and neither should you. Poker is all about taking the initiative. If you're not betting, the only way to win the hand is to get to showdown and have the better hand. When you bet, you can push people off better hands. So you have 2 ways to win rather than just one. The low jack makes the call. We're headed to the flop. And it's 5 jack 7. Hit my pair of jacks. Beautiful sight to see. There are 2 hearts I have to worry about. Straight possibilities as well. I'm going to continue betting. I make it 20. The low jack makes the call, and the turn's the 9 of clubs. Now there are 2 hands that make straights, 6-8 and 8-10, but out of 1,326 preflop combinations, I'm not too worried about those. I'm going to continue betting for value and denying equity to flush draws. I bet 35 and the low jack calls. The river comes out the king of spades. I check it to my opponent, and he bets 60. I don't like to see that river card, but it's a great card to bluff on. And I do have a second pair with the best kicker. This hand is too strong to fold. If you're playing against very good players, they'll pick up that you're over folding. They'll punish you for it. I'm not too sure I have to worry about it at the stakes that I play. But I make the call, and my opponent flips over King Jack offsuit. Unfortunately, that river did help him out a lot. I had him dominated. He had 3 outs, and he caught one faster than the Delta variant. 342 on my stack, and I pick up Queen Jack offsuit on the button. I put the straddle on. The middle position player limps. So does the hijack. The small blind completes. I make it 25. Probably should have gone larger. The hijack is the only one that makes the call for 19. And the flop comes out 8-5 queen. Once again, hitting my queen. This time I have a better kicker than the 9 last time. I'm going to continue betting. I make it almost a half-size pot bet of $25. And the hijack goes all in for his 42. I complete the 17, 149 in the pot. We're going to a run out. He shows me he has a queen. I have one too, and I have a dynamite kicker that turns the 8 of diamonds, the river, the 7 of diamonds. My opponent slowly but surely flips over a worse kicker. It's a 10. This has been an up and down session. Not really gaining traction. Starting to get a little frustrated. It's never good when you get frustrated at a poker table. I go through quite a bit of folds, just slowly leaking chips through blinds. Down to 375, and I pick up pocket 10s in the middle position. The under the gun has made it 7. I make it 20. The big blind defends. The under the gun player calls. 3-way action, going to the flop, 62 on the pot, and it comes out 5 queen queen. Hopefully, neither of these two players have one of the 2 queens. There's only 2 left in the deck. I'm going to continue betting. May make it 15. The big blind raises me to 55. I decide I'm going to make the call, although now I'm a little concerned. The turn is the 2 of hearts. It checks through, and the river is the 3 of hearts. This time, the big blind decides he's going to go for another street of value or potentially a bluff. It's my job to figure it out, and he's wagered $75 on it. The question really comes down to, does he have a queen? I think like the ace-jack hand earlier. I just beat too many hands. I beat all of his bluffs and all of his value bets besides the queen. I make the call, and he flips over queen 7 of clubs. Oh my gosh. This session is just not working out for me. Now I'm wearing my emotions on my sleeve, getting visibly frustrated. That is a sign to leave. I've lost my confidence. I've lost my desire to play. I think that if I stay, I'm just going to end up losing my whole bullet. So I just decided to cash out, in for 400, out for 254 for a loss of 146. A poker player once said, when you win, eat like you lost, and when you lose, eat like you're a winner. And so I went home and cooked myself a delicious feast. Thank you so much for watching. Kato out.